Morning, Russ. I suppose the best way to round out this season would be to pick up 5 wins in a row. You've got 3 in a row. What's it going to take to make it 5, do you think?
I think the same level of commitment, same intensity, same mentality that they've shown in the last 3 games. And I think, the same enjoyment. I think they've really enjoyed the last 3 games. So hopefully we can take all of that into the last 2 and finish really strongly. That's the plan. And it'd be nice to finish like that. I think this group deserves to finish really strongly and try and finish as high up as possible in the table. Obviously, we're finding ourselves in the top 10 now, so it would be lovely to finish there after a really tough, hard journey this season. But I think let's just focus on maintaining what they brought to the party the last few games, and if they do that, we're confident we can win another 2 games.
I think that's the first time in 44 games that you've mentioned your position in the league table. You're finally starting to look at it. Yeah,
I've had a look at it purely because I've just been told this morning. So we were just having a look at the form of us, all the stats over the last few games, and then obviously the league position was there. So I think it would be nice for the guys who have battled so hard to finish in and amongst where we are now. And hopefully they're able to do that for them more than it. It doesn't really change how I feel about the group and where they're at, where we need to go, what we need to improve on, how we're going to get there. But I think for everyone else, it's nice to look back at the end of the season and finish in a position that is a huge improvement on last season's. There's no doubt about it, and also gives you a high benchmark for next season. A high position to aim for and try and improve on.
How difficult has it been to turn around a team that was almost used to losing football matches, to turn them into a team that becomes used to winning matches again?
It's been the 18 months have been very tough. I think I look at a lot of things at the moment in football, and I see a lot of people absolving themselves of responsibility and just blaming players or situation, and I don't think we've ever done that. I think we knew we were coming into a really tough situation with a group of players that were really struggling for confidence and form, and trying to give them something to believe in, but also being aware that group of players, without any disrespecting anyone, probably wasn't going to be good enough to get to where we wanted to get to. So then it's about how quickly you're able to change, adding the people you want to add in the league position you're in, which was difficult, but fortunately for us, the way we work and the style of play helped attract some really good players to help us out. And then it's been the case again this season, really. I would have liked more change at the start, but we weren't able to, because change is pretty scary, I get that. But I think as the season's progressed and we've gone really young, obviously, albeit a few of the experienced ones sprinkled in there, but we've gone really young, which brings its own challenges, but also less fear, because they have, that they haven't experienced certain situations as much as the other guys. So they come in with naivety. I want for a better word, but naivety that actually helps them sometimes. They're going to make mistakes, but they're able to. If we encourage them and push through those mistakes rather than criticise, they're able to get over them quickly and learn and really improve, which has been brilliant. And that's been the process, really. So I think the mentality of the group's changed purely because the hard work they've all put in. I mean, I'm watching the way they trained yesterday. It's incredible with 2 weeks to go, with not much to play for in terms of league position or fighting something like that. But the way they train now, it's the mentality of the group. It's normal for them. And it's brilliant because it's a huge difference to where we were 18 months ago or a year ago, even 6 months ago. So take great pleasure in watching them do that, and that's the mentality they've instilled between themselves. The leaders of the group have driven, and we've tried to harness and help and grow. And so I think it's purely down to the players and their hard work and buying into what we're trying to build.
Now, we've seen some pretty comprehensive performances from your side. Do many come close to the one that we saw on Saturday?
No, it was good. It was a nice meeting yesterday to analyse that with the players and go through it with the units. And no, it was fantastic. There was so much good stuff. still a couple of bits we can definitely improve on for sure, but I think what's where and people will say Swindon obviously we're getting relegated. People will call it an easy game, but the players turn it into that. They've had a really good result the week before against Portsmouth, so this is a team that was still fighting, and I think we took all the fight out of them very early on with the guys' intensity and their willingness to run and willingness to work for each other and play together, and so I loved watching them. I'm pretty sure our supporters would have really enjoyed watching it, and hopefully that's what we're trying to get to. And you're not going to win 5-0 every week, but that level of performance, that level of intensity, and trying to be really consistent with that, and over the last 3 or 4 games they really have been.
Now we're getting into the awards ceremony part of the season now with 2 games to go. What do you think your performance of the season has been if it isn't Saturday? And what's your goal of the season? Because I can imagine I have a vague idea of what you're probably going to be.
Yeah, the goal of the season is up in our lecture fit, and now the diagram of it is Griggs at Gillingham. There's no doubt about it. You can't take away how good a team goal that was. I think performance has been a few. I think Charlton away was outstanding. It meant a lot to me personally. After losing my father a few days previously, and the way they played that night in front of fans as well, which was made it feel even more special. The way they played that night was just outstanding, really, really brilliant. Whole away they were excellent, loved that. Swindon was very, very good at the weekend. We've had some really top performances here. Rochdale away in the second half, I loved watching. So there's been lots to really enjoy, and there's been lots to not enjoy so much. But I probably those 3 probably spring to mind.
Yeah, I thought it would be the Gillingham one. I mean, you can't get better than a British record passing for goals, can you? I
just think so much of the hard work we see the guys put in on the training ground day in day out just came to fruition and came to life, and no better feeling as a manager or a coach than watching the stuff being transferred that you work really hard on being transferred onto a match day, and the players having the courage to do it on a match day, because it's I've been involved in teams and where players, you see them do everything right Monday to Friday, on a match day they freeze a little bit, anxiety takes over, emotion takes over, but the guys I think the only disappointment for me is we end up losing that game, so it frustrates me when I talk about it. But it was some goal, and Griggy, if you wanted to fall to one man at the end, it'll be Will Grigg.
He's certainly a ruthless striker, isn't he? 4 goals at the weekend, obviously from his 4 chances. And what do you think's changed in him that all of a sudden they're falling into the net rather than at the goalkeeper's feet or defender's feet or whatever it was?
Just fitness, a run of games. I think he found himself out of the team because Cammy was obviously playing very, very well, scoring a lot of goals. He came in and played Griggs. We played 2 up front, and we went to a 1, which has obviously hurt him a little bit, and Charlie and their minutes on the pitch. And now he's just getting a run of games again. He's been training on Astro a lot, which his body probably doesn't like very much. So it's about finding rhythm, routine. I think it's just that. I think he just needed a run of games, and you can really see the difference in him now. Got a real spring in his step. But even, as I said to you, when he wasn't scoring goals, he was still really important what he was doing for us. The way he presses, the way he links up the play, very clever. We've been really pleased.
I shan't ask about whether or not you want to keep him, because I think we all know the answer to that one. Fleetwood then at the weekend. It's obviously a long trip to have to make up there, but they're a team that's sort of in a strange patch of form really, with 3 wins and 3 defeats in the last 3. What are you expecting from them at the weekend? I
watched them last night. I went to Burton and watched them. A team with real energy. It was a strange game last night. I think it was they started off brilliantly and probably should have been 1 or 2 nil up before Burton actually scored, and then the goal changed the game, as it always does. But a team with real energy, seem to be enjoying things under their new manager. Really threatening the counter attack. They're a good team. They try and play good football, and I like that. They play some really nice stuff at times. So it will be a tough game for us. I think probably the inconsistency comes from a different way of doing things. I know the manager's not he's been there a while now, but you're still getting used to certain things, and would have been limited time on the training pitch, no doubt, because of the amount of games we've had. So I'm sure he's still instilling his ideas. A very experienced and proven, very good manager at this level as well. So I liked a lot of the stuff I saw. So it'll be a tough game for us, but we'll be prepared. We'll try and make sure we improve on brush up on a few bits we needed to from the weekend. And the guys will be aware of the threat that Fleetwood pose, but also how we can maybe try and expose them and hurt them a bit as well. And I'm looking forward to it. It's the last away game of the season. I think before this season we hadn't won away in however long. That's changed. The feeling's changed when we're going into an away game now, and so I'm looking forward to it. Let's make the most of it. It'll be our last overnight trip together this season. So I'm sure they'll our last overnighter for Ian, the kit man for Lano. So I'm sure the guys will have a surprise in store for him at some point. But just look forward to being together one last time away from home, and then we can finish the season strongly here.
The game at Stadium MK was another one, almost like it was on Saturday, not just with a hat-trick scorer, but the fact that you really asserted your dominance by getting those 2 goals early. Yeah,
we did, and then the game went crazy after that for a bit. I remember it. Yeah, it was a strange game, a really strange game. But I thought we were outstanding for half an hour, and then after that it was kind of a bit end to end. We lost a bit of control. They were obviously going hell for leather and going all out, and we didn't quite expose that or take advantage of that. And I think the difference between then and where we're at now on Saturdays, the guys never let the grip of the game get away at all, really. And I think that's just because the team's grown, their mentality's grown. So if we can get off to a start like that again, it'll be very nice, but it will be tough. It'll be their last home game of the season, so it's going to be they'll want to finish strongly as well, and they're preparing for next season. So it'll be a really tough game, but I'm looking forward to it.
And just finally, Lewis Johnson winning the Apprentice of the Year, that's a massive accolade for someone so young and early in their development of their career.
Yeah, it is when you think about how many people he's competing against. So I think it's fantastic achievement. We're very proud of Lewis. He should be very proud of himself. And it's important because it's not just he's a first year scholar. He's made some good appearances this year. Probably surprised people how much he's been involved with the first team. He's trained with us pretty much throughout, and he's been a credit to himself how hard he's worked, his willingness to learn. But it's about the education as well. It's about how he behaves with his peers. He's a role model for the younger guys, and how he's well mannered, the way he talks and deals with the staff. So all of that comes into it. How hard he works at his education, which is an important part of their scholarship. So all of that comes into it. So it's a really good accolade, and he should enjoy that, and he should use it to try and push him on next season now to try and taste even more first team football, and to try and prove to everyone that he was a worthy winner of that, and keep setting standards for the young guys in and around him.